it's kind of hard in these HBCU streets. Man, how in the world am I going to put this to these folks this time? Oh, sorry. Oh, whoa. Excuse me. Hey, look here. Y'all forgive Coach for that. I'm over here having my one of them Snoop Doggy Dogg moments where, they talk about how it's hard out here in these streets right now. And this thing here is just gotten out of control because I'm trying to understand what in the HE double hockey sticks is going on out here in these HBCU streets, because this thing has gotten crazy. Over the past daggone 36 hours, this thing has been nuts. And you know what I said? I'm going to put something new together for everybody so that they can go ahead and see coaches act the fool just a little bit, talking about some of these different topics that's out here that's going on right now. And you know what? I got to say, stuff is crazy. Some folks made some valid points, while some other people, they took it, took it in a particular way, as far as they can't believe why some folks said this thing, why this is happening over here, why this hiring is happening over here, why you got folks catfishing and doing all this other kind of stuff. So, guys, we just going to talk about all of it and just get it on out the way, because you know what? We got the Celebration Bowl coming up this weekend. We got the daggone the Florida Beach Bowl going on tonight, which I got a couple of athletes that's playing in that game, and I'm so proud of them for getting the win tonight. I believe the score was 23-10. Fort Valley State against Johnson C. Smith. Phenomenal game. And also, man, I don't know what more to say, because I already know my son come back in here from this daggone concert. I'm gonna listen to him hoop and holler about how Fort Valley won tonight. But you know what? I'm just going to press on past that. We're going to get into exactly what we're going to talk about right after this. It's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host. You know what? Screw that. We're not going to use the monologue for this, because this is a different type of show that we're going to do tonight. This is basically Coach Walker, 2 minutes to go in the game. Hey, 2 minutes. But this is going to be a long 2 minutes. So you make sure you get your popcorn, get your chips, get your soda. Hey, get your beverage if you need to. Hey, even if you need to get a red cup, get your red cup. Sit down and pour you up something, because Coach got something to say right now. And this stuff here is nuts. Listen. We're going to, listen, I got to bring you, I'm going to bring you the first installment of 2 minutes with Coach Walker. And it's going to be a lot of different topics that we're going to talk about, in which, some of them, majority everything's going to be HBCU. But I got a couple that I got to bring you here too that got me scratching my head as far as how things is going out here in the sports stratosphere right now. When it comes to, why aren't we talking about the X's and O's when it comes to sports anymore? It's more now about entertainment. Everybody wants to be entertained when it comes to talking about the sport. It's so bad now where a quarterback made a comment about how the game is being played. Now, the funny thing is, Tom Brady, everybody say Tom Brady's the GOAT. Now, if you got the GOAT to play the quarterback position, say the NFL right now to play on the field is trash. You got to say this man has a valid opinion, right? Y'all do say Brady is the GOAT. Y'all say Brady is the GOAT, right? Okay, let's get into it then. So today, I'm looking at Get Up, in which you got Greeny, Saturday, Foxworthy, Miss Kimberly, and there's another guy that was on the show where they was talking about Cam Newton made the comment. Was it First and One? He got a different show that he does off of his Funky Friday, where he talk about a lot of different sport issues, football issues, where he does some interviews and whatnot. And one thing he talked about was how there's quarterbacks out here that manage the game. They're not quarterbacks that get out here and have to make a play in order for the team to continue to keep moving the ball down the field, or better yet, put them in position to win a game. It's more so like everybody's out there managing the game. He named Dak Prescott and Purdy from San Francisco, and oh my Lord, they lost their mind. They sit there like, wait a minute, who the heck does Cam Newton think he is? Miss Kimberly went off on a tangent talking about, well, he's trying to get in the league. And then they went to talk about the man's outfit that he had on. I'm like, guys, look, it doesn't matter about what the man is wearing. It's about the fact that this man actually played the position at a high level. Now, has the game changed up a little bit since since Cam Newton was in the NFL? Absolutely, because quiet as kept, y'all go. Tom Brady, that tuck rule has come back and just made that game, made the game softer, even softer, and even softer. God dog, it's softer than cotton right now. I'm just going to be real with you. It is, because if a defensive back or a defensive player hit a daggone quarterback or hit a running back, flag on the play. Flag on the play. It's either targeting or daggone you trying to take the man's knees out. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to go out there and hurt nobody. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that basically the game is how it's being played right now. You might as well go ahead and put flags on them guys out there. I'm just calling it how I see it. But you know what? I know a lot of y'all, they come out here to hear me talk about that. I just had to get that one off my mind because you know what? When I thought about that, I said, it's 5 people in sports. Well, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna say in sports. Because I got one that's basketball. I got a couple, I got maybe 1 or 2 is basketball, but majority of these guys I'm gonna talk about right now is football. And the first one is Dak Prescott, because right now he's the Cowboys quarterback, and anybody get out here talking about the Cowboys, them folks gonna lose their mind right off the rip. They gonna talk so down to you, it's gonna be sad. And you be sitting there talking, God dog, I just said the man ain't all y'all got him cracked up to be. I mean, I don't get what's going on. But the next guy, he's number 5. Number 4, Tom Brady. Lord Jesus. Everybody say Tom Brady's the GOAT. Listen. I've been watching Michigan. Listen, I've been watching Tom Brady since he was at the University of Michigan. And I'm going to be real with you. He's not a GOAT to me. He's not the GOAT. My GOAT is Montana. I'm just going to keep it a bean with you. Montana is my GOAT. I'm just saying. Everybody want to move the levels up and down as far as with how the GOAT conversation go. First you say Jordan, and he's undefeated as far as winning championships in the NBA. He's the GOAT. I'm like, wait a minute. We ain't talking about Bill Russell. Bill Russell been more times than Michael Jordan had. But you know what? We'll say that for another conversation. I know, hey, Hoop Jargon, I know you're going to get to talking. So go leave your comments below, Hoop Jargon. I know we get to talking trash. I'm already waiting on you. But listen, the next guy I'm going to talk about here. Number 3, Josh Giddey, basketball player. Oklahoma Thunder, in which he got an issue going on right now about an improper relationship. Now, reason why I brought him up is because of the fact that if it was anybody else out here having a situation, they'd be dragging his name through the daggone mud. Malika Andrews, Stephen A. Smith, and everybody else in between be talking some trash about that person as far as what they're doing. Heck, I'm sure they're ready to talk about Ja Morant right now, but you know what? They're saving that. They're saving that because I believe the young man's going to get back on the basketball court and start playing basketball again. So you already know what time it is with that. But you know what? This next young man, I know y'all going to love this one. Woo! And it was like, I want to say 1A and 1B with these 2 right here. But boy, number 2, who y'all think it is? Deion Sanders. Absolutely is Deion Sanders, because you know what? Y'all gonna say, Coach, you a hater. You always talking mean and nasty about that man. Why you talking so bad about him? Wait, listen, guys, listen. There have been a few individuals out here that have, called the man to the carpet on stuff that might have been right, wrong, or indifferent. I'll be the first to say, I've always been one that try to find the positive in everybody. But sometimes when you try to find the positive in people, you tend to overlook some things that need to be called out. And I sat and said to myself, Coach, if you're going to call it out with your athletes, you dang sure going to start calling out with this man here. He's just a man. He's a man. Every man do things wrong. We all do. I do things wrong. I don't have a problem with that. But you know what? I will say this. I know there's a lot of folks out here that's going to dislike that because, like, Coach, why you got to bring him up? You're being a hater. No. Stick around. Don't go nowhere yet. Don't leave. Don't leave. Stick around. Number 1. Number 1. Yes, I brought him up early in the daggone show. None other than Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Absolutely. The guy that y'all talk about is the GOAT because he won 6 championships. He might have been the GOAT during that time in which he played basketball, because you got to remember now, you had a lot of the superstars, Hall of Famers that was going out of the NFL, not NFL, but the NBA at that time, that was on their last leg. Some of them knees were so bad, you could hear them creaking trying to run up and down the daggone court. And they just was not able to give that extra effort like they did back when they were winning with their basketball teams. So, yes, Michael Jordan is another one. If you get to talking about Jordan, boy, folks lose they daggone mind. It's almost like people go spend their last dollar to go find a plane ticket to come put their finger on the tip of your nose. Boy, what you talking about? You can't talk about my GOAT like that. I'm like, bro, this man don't even know you, dog. He don't know you. I mean, I get it. He got some fly shoes. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And a lot of y'all might be on the whole y'all might be in the Rolodex to get a free pair. Hey, Jordan, let me get a free pair. I'm still going to talk about you anyway, but just let me get a free pair too. I mean, I got a couple upstairs, but I do need that, what's that, the white and powder blues? I think it's the 13. I need a pair of them in a size 13, Michael Jordan. Hook your boy up. But anyway, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get to this other thing here, because I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, saying, I understand how a lot of folks feel about their favorite athletes being talked about, and they feel some kind of way. It just bothers me that, sitting here looking at sports analysts going with the popularity scenario with Cam Newton as far as we want to discuss and just degrade this man because he disagreed or he spoke out about how play is going on out there on the NFL fields right now with a lot of these daggone teams. I mean, don't get it twisted now. Tom Brady said the exact same thing, and no one went into any depth as far as what Tom Brady had to say. They just said, you know what, Tom Brady said, blah, blah, blah. You heard crickets, right? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. But you know what? We're going to move on from that. But this next thing here, man, catfish season is in. Yes, it is. A lot of y'all out here like, Coach, don't you do it. Listen, I can understand how we as athletes want to feel the love from a particular school or just from a person in general. And sometimes we go about things in the wrong manner, which puts us in a position where it has us making bad decisions, and it's making us look bad, not only to that person, but to the masses. And why I say that is because a particular football player popped up in my mind with the situation that's going on with the former Jack State football player who posted the offers according to Colorado University. I think it's Coach Brewster. Could have his name wrong. He stated that the offer for this young man was not true. He's tried to get in twice already and he's been denied. But what really bothered me was the salacious story. You know, the story has some valid points to it. So before I say salacious, let me make sure I clarify what I'm saying here. When you look at the story, how it was told as far as the athlete on, you know, not necessarily the athlete, but the person on campus that came to an unfortunate demise, that story was put out there as to the reason why this individual was having a hard time. Yes, with stuff like that, we all have hard times. Heck, my grandmother passed while I was in college, and that was my best friend. That was my everything. So I understand where this young man is coming from when you see something like that and it's bothering you to the point to where you're crying out for help. And that's why I'm like, listen, I'd rather, instead of ridiculing the young man, I'm reaching out to you this way to say, listen, young man, if you're looking at this, reach me via DM on Instagram at TL Sports Network and leave me your contact information so that we can talk off camera, offline. Or you can reach me via Twitter at TLSN12. Let's sit down and talk, man. Let's try to put something together for you to move forward. Because right now you're putting yourself in a situation where you're doing more harm than helping yourself. I get it. You want to play collegiate football. You weren't on Jackson State roster last season. You might have got some time during, like cleanup time when, Jackson State was up in games. Your freshman, your first year. So back in, was it 2022? So all I'm saying is that we got to be smart as far as how we move. And this is where I talked about before, where we have to, as people, sit down with, especially parents, sit down with the children and let them know exactly what's going on. Parents, you know exactly what your athlete is able or capable of doing as far as with playing a particular sport. Like I stated before, I'll be the first to tell you, I coached some kids this past year that did not love the sport. They liked it. And I don't even think it was a like. I think it was I would say it was a lust. I would say that when it came to this sport. Understand that you have to be willing to do the things necessary in order for you to get there. But like I said, this story reminds me of Manti Te'o from Notre Dame, the ex linebacker who got catfished with the girlfriend, online girlfriend, in which people looked at his story and they thought his story was, he persevered, as far as everything that was going on, but that perseverance turned into ridicule. And that's something that, I see it online as far as with the young man. I mean, just he catching haymakers with the jokes, but you got to understand, a lot of people they don't take kind of you talking trash about their HBCUs. The HBCU landscape is totally different than, I'll say, PWI. I went to one of them too. And the PWI I went to, I don't hear none of them folks over there taking up for that institution like I would take up for Morris Brown College. Put that on something for real. First, what's up, my guy? Don't allow anyone to talk slick about Morris Brown College, regardless of the shortcomings that we've had. It's not going to happen. I'm going to stand 10 toes down on my institution. That's just how I am when it comes to Morris Brown. Period, point blank. So with that being said, young man, listen, if you're looking, if you want to sit down and talk to somebody, I'm open. But the one thing I do ask is if those 3 schools that you posted saying that you have offers from, you're down to your last 3 schools on who you're going to pick, which one you're going to go to. If they did not offer you, son, please do yourself a favor. Take that down before you create an even bigger storm where no one is going to want to be bothered with you as far as with possibly trying to offer you a scholarship to come play in their program, be it a preferred walk-on or, outright want to offer you to come be a part of what they have going on. Don't do that to yourself. So that's just a message to him. Like I said, that Manti Te'o from Notre Dame, that story kind of reminded me of this. That's why I threw that out there. But guys, next, like I said, Coach on the road. Coach, like I said, don't go nowhere. I got a couple more for you. This one's gonna blow your mind. This one's gonna blow your mind. But yes, the tweet that was seen all over the world, and it's split down the middle as far as how everybody feels about the message that the coach put out there from Alabama A&M. Coach Taylor, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of folks out there talking, man, what the you thinking about? And there's some folks like, you know what? He kind of got a point. But when I looked at when I really sat down and read the message, and I got a couple of athletes that I coach. Matter of fact, a couple of athletes that I interviewed, a couple of ball players that I interviewed, who is doing that very thing, which is recruiting right now. When I sit down and talk to them and they say, "Hey, coach, listen, it's some value in that, but it's like they're telling me, but they're not telling me." Oh, it's real. And what Coach Taylor had to say, it has some merit to it. Now, this is the thing. If anybody paid close attention to any of the athletes that left from HBCUs last season to go play for either a Power 5 or a Group of 5 program and how well they did, like I said, there was a lot of athletes that was moving around last year, shaking and baking, doing their thing. But I'm going to say this to you. Deion Sanders, former Jackson State head coach, who is now over at Colorado University, he said it to everyone while he was at Jackson State. This is what I keep trying to tell folks. Pay attention to the stuff that he's saying, because a lot of the stuff he says comes back in some way, shape, or fashion. It may not hit you in the head like right off for you to get like, God, dog, he did say that. It's not that type of time. You have to go back and be like, wait a minute. I remember hearing this, but I can't place where and when it happened. I'm going to take you there. Remember when Deion Sanders was complaining about, and it was a valid complaint about the recruits were not the recruits, but the scouts, the NFL scouts to come to the HBCU institutions to check out these players that's on these rosters that can actually get out there and go play on an NFL team. Well, guess what? When he sat there and told the world that HBCUs got some ballers. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, this was the year, if I'm not mistaken, this was the last season when Felix Triggerman Harper was over at Alcorn State University playing quarterback. When his season was last season was up there, he made that comment about those NFL scouts coming to check out the HBCU athletes. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was when Jackson State had that was before they had the NFL, the combine or whatever at Jackson State for those scouts to come out there and check it out. If I'm incorrect, Jackson State folks, please let me know. Leave your comments down below and tell Coach, you got it wrong. It happened then. I don't have a problem with that. I appreciate all you guys. I love you. But the crazy thing is, he echoed those sentiments first. Now, check this out. You heard those sentiments again this year. Do you know when? And guess who echoed those sentiments? None other than Mr. Deion Sanders himself. And that was after Colorado beat TCU. That was after they beat TCU. When they asked him about the speed out there on the line, he said, oh, it's the same. It's just bigger, a little bit faster guys coming after you out there on the field. He didn't see no difference in HBCU and Power 5. There go your layup right there. Again, they're telling the masses, while we're being entertained on what's going on, they're telling the masses, and they are listening. Because you got Group of 5 and Power 5 institutions coming to get these HBCU athletes and bringing them into their programs. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a couple of athletes that got out there and balled the frick out this season that played for HBCU programs last season. Y'all ready for this? Check this out. Croskey-Merritt, former Alabama State running back, now is playing for the New Mexico Lobos. This season, this young man rushed the ball for 199 times for 1,190 yards, 17 touchdowns, and the man was averaging 6.3 yards per carry. Niles Gaddy, former Jackson State football player over at Missouri University, who's going to play in the Cotton Bowl in a couple of weeks. That young man playing roughly about 20, 25 snaps a game. That young man had the young man had 21 tackles. He was second on the team in sacks with 4.5. The highest man on the team had seven. He had 7 or 7.5 on the team, in which Niles Gaddy was second to him with 4.5. The young man had 4 tackles for loss with 3 quarterback hurries. What are we talking about, guys? Now, if we really want to dig into this, let's go back to the very young man that made the comment again after the TCU game, and with Deion Sanders. He's the former Jackson State quarterback. This young man threw the ball 430 times, completing 298 for 3,230 yards, setting a single-season passing record with 27 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. If we want to talk about somebody else, we're going to talk about the crowd favorite, Travis Hunter, former Jackson State University defensive back / wide receiver. Now over at Colorado. He had 31 tackles, 3 interceptions in this past season. What are we talking about, guys? Like I said, and I mean, these are 2 players that went with Deion Sanders. He knew what he had. There's nothing wrong with that. You already know he wasn't leaving his son at Jackson State. I mean, heck, he going to bring the quarterback with him. And he dang sure going to bring Travis Hunter with him as well as a couple of other athletes that he wanted to bring with him over to his program. But these folks know who can come play on that level that's coming from an HBCU program. Hell, I believe all of them can do it. I believe every last one of them can do it. But the thing is, this is what's going on right now. So now, as we watching this transfer portal bubble up, and we're looking at early signing period, and we're looking at the daggone transfer portal is open for everybody to get in, watch them folks start leaving. Watch them start leaving and going to these programs, and then watch their production next year. Heck, if you want to go even further, let's look at what Kevin Coleman was able to do over there with Louisville this year when he was put out there on the field. The young man produced. He produced. He showed that he can do the daggone thing at a Power 5 the same way he did at an HBCU. All I'm saying is, guys, listen. These athletes are showing that they can get out there and ball. This last situation here, I know, I probably kept y'all long enough. Y'all probably like, Coach, you on my daggone nerves right now. But I'm like, hold on, guys. Just stick with me. Just stick with me. Coach trying something new here. I just want to see what you guys like about this here. If you like this type of show, why just give you guys a show with a rundown of different things that's going on and just have some fun with it. Hey, leave me a thumbs up. Like and comment this comment this show. And now, if you don't like it, give me the thumbs down and tell me, Coach, you full of rigmarole. Get this trash up out of here. And leave your comments with that too. But I'm sure, hey, I got one I already know I'm gonna get a dislike from one already. Because it don't matter what video I put up, I get a dislike from that person. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you. I love it, man. I love it. But look, but before we get up out of here, oh my God, this last one. Oh, and by the way, y'all don't be too critical on Coach for y'all don't be too critical on Coach Taylor over there with that tweet. I mean, listen, he said something what other folks may have thought but was afraid to say. You know, like I say all the time, my mom always tell me, son, make sure you proofread everything before you hit send. And sometimes we get so excited or get so wound up in our mind, we talk about something, we might be sitting there just typing it out on the phone just to remember what's going on. Because it's going to come a point in time where that might come back and strike you. Well, Coach might have had one of them aha moments and hit the send button. It's like, oh, God, I said that, woo. And then everybody start, looking at it and just losing their mind. But keep in mind, he said something that many of us thought about, but just never said anything about it. I'm being honest with you. So, like I said, y'all comment on that. But hey, wait. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. We ain't done yet. This last day here. Look, I love going to Lorman, okay? My lady, my wife, she loved going to Lorman too. We had a good time out there. And I got to ask y'all a question, man. What in the world's going on out there? I try to reach out to you, G. I need you to talk to me, dog. What's going on? Talk to big coach, dog. Talk to coach, dog. What's going on? Because I'm like, when I sit here and look at these messages going around, and you know, somebody, I got a message from one of my good friends. He was like, "Hey, you late to the party." Some of this stuff I try not to really dig off in until I hear like, this is what's popping. This is what's going down. But this bubbled up so quick. I'm like, wait a minute. Because, I mean, you got Coach Graves. He the new head coach over at Southern. You still don't have no head coach over at Grambling. But I honestly believe the defensive coordinator, I think the coach that might have came over from Memphis, I think he's going to end up being the interim. I think that might be the guy for them over there. And we still waiting on their timetable where they say they got a couple of days before they let us know who's going to be the next head coach. So I think he's going to be the interim coach as far as looking to see what's going on. I don't think they're going to get him that head coaching tag just yet. They want to see exactly what he's going to do. But Alcorn State, what y'all doing, man? You guys, look, Brave Nation, y'all about to let Fred McNair walk out the door? Y'all, come on, y'all kidding me, right? I mean, it's like Fred McNair it's almost like Fred McNair standing at the daggone light switch like Teddy P talking, turn off the lights. I'm like, what y'all doing, bro? Like a candle. Wait a minute. This can't be happening like this, right? I mean, Fred McNair gonna give you everything that he has to offer you, season in and season out. When you come to the reservation, you're on the reservation, that you're there. You're there, you're having a good time there. There's not much of really anything going on outside of the reservation. So you got a coach that's there that's willing to do whatever it takes to recruit the athletes to come in to build the program up. And there's some folks out here that feel like it's time for them to go. I'm going to tell you guys right now, this microwave mentality of thinking that you're going to get wins and get a team going to the championship instantaneously ain't going to happen, guys. You're going to have to start building this thing up to understand what's going on. There's a lot of programs that's going to find that out in the coming years as far as with wanting this instant success, because it's not instantly going to happen that way. Because trust and believe, there's going to be athletes that are going to come and go, especially now with this transfer portal being the way that it is as far as them having options to jump in that bad boy and go somewhere else. As I stated before, previously in the last segment, I talked about how Power 5 or Group of 5 programs are going to start looking heavily at HBCUs to get these athletes to go in that portal and want to become a part of their program. Hey, check them DMs. Like, who's that? What's old boy name? Talk about it's going down in the DMs. Yeah, y'all better go check them DMs, because them DMs about to get real, for real, okay? Hey, listen, I know y'all like, Coach, you over there, you tripping, but I'm just saying, look, dog, listen to me. I just hope Alcorn State has a backup plan, because if the reports are true that Fred McNair is about to become the new head football coach of the Texas Southern University football team, this is going to be chaotic. This is going to be chaotic, and the West is going to get crazy. And one thing I say is this: if he's the new head coach of that football program, I'm hoping he makes a phone call to a particular person. And I'm hoping they're going to sit down and listen to the conversation. Not necessarily go with what's going on, but just hear what is being said. That's all I'm asking for. Because if you got a coach that's coming in there that's one of them ones that was able to get out there on that field and do it at a high level, playing ball, I honestly think he can get that young man on that level or above and beyond that level to really shake some stuff up and let everybody know just who that guy is in the SWAC next season at that quarterback position. I believe the young man, whatever happens with him, he's going to make something happen regardless wherever it is he goes, because he's that type of athlete. He's a baller. Y'all know I'm talking about Andrew Body. I can quit trying to talk around circles when it comes to that young man. I believe that young man's going to get out there and make some things happen, because, like I stated before, some things that I saw when he came here this past summer when he was at one of the HBCU showcase that they had, and I do apologize, I don't have the name exactly of which one it was. As a matter of fact, I'll put the name up here so everybody can see it. But for him to be able to get out there and do that, just learn those little simple mechanics from the quarterback coach there. Man, listen, you can only imagine what Fred McNair can do. You seen what he was able to do with the young man last season. You seen what he's able to do with Felix Triggerman Harper. Felix Triggerman Harper is from here in Atlanta. He played at a high school here in which the young man got off. But, I mean, he was able to do things that was magical out there on that field. And I truly believe Fred McNair will probably be able to do, well, not probably, I'm sure he'll be able to do the same thing with Andrew Body if by chance he get a hold of him. But you know what? I'm going to sit back and relax. I ain't going to put too much pressure on that because the young man got to make a decision that's best for him. But I'll say this, it's going to be football content is going to be interesting for the next couple of months. So y'all strap in and get ready. Like I stated before, Coach going to go ahead and get up on out of here. But leave your comments below and let me know what your thoughts are on the content that I just gave you. Do you like shows like this? Or do you like me just doing the recruiting and things of that nature? I'm gonna mix up some of everything in this, but I just want you guys to, get a feel of something different from Coach. This is the first installment of 2 minutes with Coach Walker. I know it's longer than 2 minutes, but you know what? When it's 2 minutes left in the game, you got to make decisions. And sometimes those decisions that you have to make could be costly or they could be beneficial. But the thing is, when you're coaching the game, when you're in the game and you're looking to win, you're going to make whatever decision is that you feel best that you need to make in order to get yourself in position to get that W. So, guys, like I always say, be the one and lead.